I'm Prospector's wife, Tara. Here's a little taste of my world. It's time for Prospector's Picky Pet Peeves on Rock 107.
All right, this is going to go all over the place, but stay with me. We're spending more times in drive-thrus than ever before, and sometimes that flies, but other times it drags. And one thing that always makes me want to ram the driver in front of me, and that's people who leave too much space in front of them at the drive-thru. Yeah, like you don't need 2 car lengths, or even 1 car length, or even half a car length. I mean, you're traveling a mile per hour. You don't need that much room, and it makes the line seem longer. In fact, it makes the line actually longer. It pushes people farther away from the box they order from, thereby slowing everybody down.
Seriously?
I just saw a commercial for 3D Doritos the other day. Did I miss something? Were Doritos somehow breaking the laws of physics for decades? Not to be too picky, but thin as they are, Doritos have always been three-dimensional. Even the tip of the sharpest blade of any razor you can find is very much 3D.
All right.
And this falls under really, really, really picky, but it infuriates me, so you're going to hear about it. You're watching a show on regular TV, broadcast TV, or cable, and they start by saying, presented with limited commercial interruptions. And I get where they're going, but there are always limited commercials. In fact, even if the entire hour was commercials, that's still a limit. 60 minutes, an hour of commercials is still limited, okay? Unless there's some sort of ongoing infinite loop of commercials that goes on forever, commercials are always limited, as is the program and our time here on Earth.
Nobody cares. You think that was bad? Try living with him. Love you, honey. Mean it.
These PA's Classic Rock 107. Good morning. It's the Prospector Show. I'm Prospector.
And I'm Kate.
And Kate, we are joined in the studio by the wonderful, the talented Adam Marco, the voice of the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders. Good morning, man.
I was not aware you could play music like this.
Oh, I have this cool thing. Isn't this great?
This is you, I assume, recorded.
No. This is actually, and I'm hesitant to say it now, from an old Pawtucket Red Sox game.
Ooh.
All right, well, I got to go. It has been a pleasure. I got things to do back
I get it.
in Yankees land.
I know. I understand. 2025 Rail Rider season is here. The games on our sister station, Buzz 96.1. Opening night is tonight at PNC Field. What is on tap to make it special, Adam?
We are excited to welcome fans to the ballpark. Rochester comes to town. Gates open at 5:30 tonight. Magnetic schedule giveaway for the first 1,500 fans. First pitch 6:35 on a turn-up Tuesday. Get $2 Coors Lights for 2 hours after gates open. $5 lawn or bleacher seats. Post-game fireworks after the whole shebang tonight wraps up. And then there are 74 more home games after this. Now, you're going to see new lights at the ballpark this year.
Oh, okay.
New LEDs. They turn on quickly. They put on a light show when we hit plenty of home runs. We already have 10 this year.
So, speaking of the players, there's a few standout names on the roster. Who are some players who we should keep an eye on this season?
Everson Pereira is the number 14 prospect on the roster. He was with us last year, was on the cusp of a big league call-up or return to the big leagues, but had surgery on his elbow. Jorby Bibas is a top 30 prospect. Eric Rieselman, top 30 arm out of the bullpen.
So, from cool giveaways to crazy promotions, what's good at PNC Field this year?
Well, I'll start with food. Some great new sandwich options, food options. A walk-off chicken Parmesan sandwich using stuffed cheesy bread, then the chicken parm, a maple bacon burger, Texas melt. There's so much good food at the ballpark. The daily promotions are huge, always something. The fireworks will start up on May 30th. We get going that weekend with a camo hat giveaway for military appreciation in June. Amazing golf ball whacker night is my personal favorite. It is an appearance by Christopher McDonald, who portrayed Shooter McGavin in Happy Gilmore 1 and 2, which comes out in July.
Okay.
He makes the appearance. We have a Shooter McGavin bobblehead giveaway.
Nice.
Another good one, July 5th, is a Luis Heel bobble card giveaway. Heel was the Rookie of the Year last year in the American League.
What's a bobble card?
It is a baseball card, 3D, with the bobblehead built inside.
Oh.
Okay.
First time we've ever done it.
Opening night tonight at PNC Field, and you can get tickets. I mean, if somebody's sitting there going, I need my tickets, where do they go? How do they get them?
anytime you need ticket information, promotional information, swbrailriders.com, the easiest way to get everything you need to know about the team and buy your seats to come out and take in a baseball game at PNC Field.
Adam Marco, voice of the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders. Hear all the games on our sister station, Fuzz 96.1, or go to the damn ballpark and check it out. Dude, thank you for joining us on Rock 107.
Breaking the news that's already broken. It's time for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
A resort in China installed escalators to make hiking easier, kind of like how the NFL makes football easier by scheduling games against the Browns. Post Malone was spotted shopping in Paris with his girlfriend. Post Malone likes France because nobody notices the body odor. A Minecraft movie grossed $163 million on opening weekend, but that's only a net of $50 million once the studio subtracts the cost of feeding Jack Black.
Making sure breaking news stays broken. Tune in tomorrow for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107. He's quirky and cranky, and that makes for a lot of awkward interactions.
What a jerk.
Help Prospector learn from his mistakes. It's time for Am I a Jerk on Rock 107.
A couple of weeks ago, my wife Tara and I were in Buffalo, New York to check out a concert, and my younger brother Scott and his wife Jen, who live in Rochester, just about 70 miles down the road, joined us for dinner that we booked before the show. We get to the place. I tell the host we're here. We had a reservation. He takes us to a booth. I'm like, whoa. We wanted a table. It says so right here on the app. I reserved a table. I hate booths. The host was like, well, a huge party came in. We combined all the tables to make a big one for their party. We moved you to a booth because we wanted to accommodate the bigger party. He then says it'll be about 30 minutes for the tables to open up. So after saying my piece for not holding our table, I say, you know what? We're going to wait. And we ended up waiting like 40 minutes for a table. Everybody else seething at me for not taking the booth. Does that make me a jerk?
Yes, it makes you a jerk, and it makes you super selfish.
I'm okay with all those things.
You shouldn't be.
Well, let's find out what people are saying on social media and the like.
Bobby sent us a message that says, I'm in your corner on this one, buddy. You are not a jerk today.
Not a jerk today. You got to get what you asked for crying out loud.
Hey.
Let's go to the Rock Lines. Rock 107. Am I a jerk?
Hey, what's up? You're not a jerk, brother.
How come? How come you're with me on this one?
I asked for a table. I want what I asked for. If I'm reserving a spot, they should have just set the table for you, and then we should have went to eat the way we should have been. That would have been it.
Rock 107.
Hey, I just want to let you know you're definitely not a jerk on this one.
Yeah?
The reason being, I'm pretty much the same way. Sometimes I don't mind a booth if it's just me and the missus, but when you're out with everybody else, you have to get up, you need to go to the bathroom. You need to do something else, and it's, the hassle and the rigmarole and getting out of the darn booth.
Yeah, it's a big pain in the backside on that. That's one of the reasons I do not like a booth, and that's why I reserved a table and waited for a table. Let's find out.
So whiny. Our very own Ron Reno said, now I know why the entire Rock 107 staff doesn't go out to dinner with you. We fear your jerkiness.
So does that mean they're going out to dinner? Are you guys going out without me? That's kind of fine. I'm okay with that.
I was going to say.
Doesn't matter to me.
Jeff from your Instagram said, I'd have to say yes on this one. I prefer a booth, but I will take anything as long as I get to eat. I don't like waiting.
I get that. Not like waiting. That's why I make reservations. Setting the expectations of what I want.
Hey.
And the restaurant agrees to it. Then we get there and they've changed it. I don't like that. On to the Rock Lines. Rock 107. Am I a jerk?
Prospector.
Yeah.
Oh, you're absolutely a jerk today, buddy.
Absolutely a jerk. No doubt.
Not usually, but I wouldn't even go to, maybe you're like a whiner or a baby, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, definitely a whiner, but a jerk too, right? Because I made him wait.
Yeah, you know what, though? At the end, though, I would have been, when I was paying the bill, I would have got something off the bill, at least. My dinner for free, at least.
I should have tried to ask to knock something off the bill, but I felt like if I waited for the table, then I really don't have any right to complain as far as, taking anything off the bill, right?
You were going to complain no matter what.
No, but I mean, complain back to, in other words, I'm the guy who said, no, we'll wait for the table, and then I'm going to go up and go, well, I should get something off because we had to wait. No, I'm the one who waited, so at that point, I shut my mouth. Oh. See, I can be reasonable, Kate.
Yeah, after jumping through a couple hoops.
Sure.
Ken from your Twitter said, yeah, absolutely a jerk. A seat's a seat. It doesn't change the food. You don't like booths? It's not about you. You made everyone else wait 40 minutes to eat. You're a jerk.
A seat's a seat? Yeah, why don't you eat on the electric chair? See if that seat's still a seat, pal.
Ashley from our Tech Talk said, you're not a jerk. You made a reservation. Why should you have to deal with a booth?
Thank you, Ashley.
What is with this booth hatred?
I don't like booths. I never like booths. I don't like feeling enclosed like that. A chair, I have control of my own seating. I can move it in. I can move it back out. I can slide it to the right. I can slide it to the left within reason. A booth, every move I make The person next to me has to deal with it. That's uncomfortable. I don't like boots.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
All right, we're going to the rock lines one last time here. We're going to figure this out once and for all. Me waiting for the table instead of taking the booth immediately, holding everybody up for 40 minutes. Does that make me a jerk?
Your old buddy Bob here.
What's up, Bob?
This is a historic day because I'm going to have to go with the jerk on this one.
After all these years, you're finally saying I'm a jerk.
And you know what? That's it. You tripped me up because as soon as you started into it, I'm like, the man's going to rip him a new over a table. I'm on this. And then all of a sudden it was like, we'll wait. Oh, you got me.
Got one from Open Mic on the Rock 107 app. Am I a jerk?
Hey, Prospector. I don't necessarily think you were a jerk. I think you wanted to prove a big point to the restaurant staff, and you certainly did. Not sure I would be happy if I was your family either, though.
I think they're unhappy with me pretty much generally.
Just all around.
Every other day, they're like, really? We're related to this clown? So in the question today of, am I a jerk? My wife and I in Buffalo, my brother and his wife from Rochester join us for dinner. Get there, say, hey, we have a reservation. They take us to a booth. I'm like, ho, ho, ho. I reserved a table. Well, we put the tables together for a bigger party. We have a booth where we could wait for a table 30 minutes. Oh, we'll wait without checking with anybody else in my party or any of that. We wait for 40 minutes as they seethe. In that question today, does that make me a jerk? Kind of shockingly surprising to me by a slight margin. I can't believe this. No, I am not a jerk.
Life's pretty tough right now. There's plenty of bad news, but it's not all bad. It's time for the brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
A group of frat guys from the University of Southern Mississippi reunited a woman with her lost dog 5 years after he went missing. He's a tiny Yorkie named Kingston. He disappeared 300 miles away after Hurricane Laura in 2020. The president of the school's Kappa Sigma chapter says Kingston just showed up on their porch last week. They got his microchip scanned, tracked down the owner. She thought she'd never see him again, so their reunion was pretty emotional.
Thanks. We needed that. The brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
Time to announce the winner of Prospector's Yam Bag of the Week, as decided by you at rock107.com.
We uncover the most baffling, ridiculous, pathetic, cockeyed, laughable, preposterous blunders in the world of misdeeds. Nominee number 1.
If you're thinking about working at Family Dollar and you're making a list of the perks and drawbacks of the job, this should be on the drawback side. A man in New Hampshire walked into a Family Dollar Saturday night, shouted hey to the clerk, then ran out. The clerk said the man was heavy set and totally naked, although wearing a surgical mask. I don't know, maybe to protect himself from germs. Police are investigating and they're asking if anybody recognizes the guy, but thankfully they did not release photos of the streaker. If they can find him, he'll be charged with indecent exposure.
Nominee number 2.
This guy came straight out of a Saturday morning cartoon and went right into the back of a police cruiser. Police in Gainesville, Georgia have arrested a man who allegedly stole over $20,000 from several Walmarts across North Georgia, and his name, hand to heart, is Speedy Gonzalez. I'm not making this up. The man, aged 40, is now facing felony theft charges. Investigators say he didn't just hit one store. He went on a Walmart crime tour, stopping at multiple locations and helping himself to whatever he could. The exact details of how he pulled it off haven't been released yet, but I'm guessing he wasn't exactly yelling, "Andale, andale, arriba, arriba" on the way out. Asset Protection and local police tracked him down and finally caught up with the old Speedy. And unlike his animated counterpart, he didn't outrun them. He's now behind bars where the only thing moving fast is his chance at parole.
And the winner is
the man who stole $20,000 from Walmart. And yes, his real name is Speedy Gonzalez. He cannot outrun being the Yam Bag of the Day. And he'll move on to Friday's Yam Bag of the Week competition. Keep it here for all the nominees for Prospector's Yam Bag of the Day, weekday mornings on Rock 107. Thanks for listening to Prospector's Prime Cuts podcast. Be sure to catch us live weekdays from 5:30 to 10 a.m. on Rock 107 or online at rock107.com or the Rock 107 app, a free download for your Android or iPhone. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss Prospector's Prime Cuts.